Hi there, and welcome to a very basic program on communication. This is the first part of a planned program to layer in understanding of the basic principles of the communication process. And we'll start at the beginning so we don't miss any steps along the way. The truth is that communication is still the #1 problem in all our relationships today, both in the workplace and within our family systems too. Whether we recognize it or not, communication is fundamental to our very existence. It doesn't matter if we live alone or have a big family, live in isolation or in a big city. Our whole lives are made up of both small and complicated communications. If we do it well, we can be successful. And if we do it poorly, we can have many problems that are unresolved over the years. Communication is more than just passing information and creating dialogue. It's a complex set of dynamics between two people, which includes active listening, filters, body language, eye contact, perception, etc. We can't communicate successfully with others unless we're communicating with ourselves as well. When we are responding to these things, they are active responses. This is what's meant by integrating our spirit into conversations. First, we have to know what the very basics are of communication and why it's so important to attend fully to each other. Every day, we talk to each other to convey messages and exchange ideas about our thoughts, feelings, and beliefs about things. The purpose of communication is to get your message across to others clearly and unambiguously. We all think we do, but you can see in hindsight that our relations show many misunderstandings that grow out of what seems like clear messages to each other. Actually, someone once said to me, "I couldn't have been clearer with my message." Well, I'd like to suggest that if that was the case, the communication wouldn't have broken down, and it did. So just sending the message isn't enough. The receiver must also understand the message the way it was intended. Doing this involves effort from both the sender and the receiver, and it's a process that can be frustrating, filled with errors, and that can leave messages misinterpreted by the recipient. When this isn't detected, it can cause tremendous confusion, wasted effort, and missed opportunities. And in some cases, it can create mistrust. In fact, communication is only successful when both the sender and the receiver understand the same information as the result of the communication. By successfully getting your message across, you remove roadblocks to your goals, both personally and professionally. In spite of the increasing importance placed on communication skills, many individuals continue to struggle, unaware of the impact communication makes on their life. This is both true to organizations like governments and corporations, as well as, of course, the family system. This makes it nearly impossible for them to compete effectively in the workplace, stands in the way of career goals, upward mobility, and most importantly, breaks down trust in families, in work relationships, in every aspect of your life. So getting your message across is important in whatever you're trying to accomplish. To do this, you have to understand what your message is, what your audience is that you're sending it to is, and how it will be perceived. You must also understand the situational and cultural context of your message being presented. So our objectives here are pretty simple. We'll define what works and what doesn't work in communication, and identify, in the second part, we're going to identify the barriers to effective communication and what real active listening looks like, including appropriate active listening responses. Whether we're communicating in a family or at work, communication problems are normal, predictable, and recurring. We all share the same goals in communication. That's to inform, persuade, and build relationships. Somewhere things get muddled, and simple steps can keep our communication waters clear. Here we have a basic communication model. You have a sender and receiver and response, filters. Getting through the filters we all have can be tricky, but remember the goal, as we established earlier. Effective communication occurs when the receiver interprets the sender's message in the way it is intended. Now, we want to make sure that when we do this, we also help them to hear us. So that's part of it too. This is all mutual understanding, but I want to emphasize that this doesn't necessarily mean agreement. So don't tense up on me right now. We're just getting to a place where we understand each other. Then we can start layering in more persuasive aspects of it. Each message can be affected by whole groups of factors, including the method of communication, voice, body language, written, it can be written, tone plays a part, attitudes and prejudices play a part, frame of reference, defensiveness and distractions all play a part. Perceptual filters can be complicated. The organization or family belief system plays a part in that. It can be cultural. We've all heard of Black pride and Hispanic pride. Now this can be a mechanism of society to celebrate diversity. However, unchecked, it can grow into reverse discrimination rather than an honoring of heritage. Strong emotions can block communication. Anger and sadness are an example. These can keep others from hearing you or understanding you, or you them. Environmental distractions such as phones, computers, newspapers, TV, or just simply working while someone's trying to talk to you. You know how that goes. People say, I'm listening, but they're not really attending to your signals. Even visual filters can block understanding. And I've got a few in the next slide. This is in the block, or in the triangle. I want you to read the statement. And once you've read it, take a look at it again. You probably said a bird in the bush. If this is what you said, then you failed to see the word "the" repeated twice. Okay? That's because we tend to block that out. Now I'm going to reveal 3 blocks with words on it. You may not see it at first, but take a look at the different spaces. This one, yellow space, has the word optical in it, and the blue landscape reveals the word illusion. That's why it's called an optical illusion. And here you see the word, immediately the word teach, but if you look again, learn is below it. And here you see me, you see you through me, or me through you, one of the two. You have to adjust your sight in order to. Okay, so whether we are communicating in business, meeting with family members, the techniques are all the same. They play a part to muddy the waters of communication, especially when emotions come into play. Between family members or business colleagues, it's all the same. Lack of personal awareness and management of our own feelings around things often contribute to the confusion, conveys mixed messages and unclear content. A brief word about awareness. Most of us don't see ourselves as quite as clearly as others see us, mainly because we all have a whole part of ourselves that we block from unconsciousness. This is why we go to therapy, basically, is to bring into consciousness our lost parts and integrate them so we can be more successful in life.